it is.
There he is.
BK.
All right, guys, and Bulls back, which means it's time to pivot to a little Guardians talk. They have been rumored to be the favorites to land both Oakland catcher Sean Murphy and Josh Bell of the Padres, the first baseman, left-handed.
Well, that should make Bull happy because
and
all
Bull,
this
I'm hoping
catcher
this news
talk.
makes you happy, like Tyvis alluded to.
Well, where did you see they're the favorites to get both these guys? I didn't see that.
I'm one of the ESPN articles predicting where these guys are going to land.
Oh, okay, so it's just a guess. I mean, listen, until the Guardians, as much as I love the Guardians, until they lock down one of these players, I'll believe it when I see it because we've heard about that. They're close to Abreu. They're close on this guy. We've heard it for a few years. Until they actually spend the money, I'm not going to totally believe it. I do like both of those guys.
Respectable.
I think, Josh Bell is Josh Bell is a solid player. I don't know that he's a perfect fit because he is better against righties than he is against lefties, and I feel like they could use a guy who's better against lefties. And he struggled at the end of the year with San Diego after playing well for Washington, and he's not a good defensive player at first base, and the Guardians could use
sounds
a
like
better
a steal.
defensive first base. However,
So what is he good at?
What do you like about the guy?
However, he is the best first base option out there in free agency if they don't go trade. He does have very big-time power. He didn't hit as many home runs last year, but overall the last 5 years, he's been a pretty consistent power source, and that's one thing this lineup is missing. So, in terms of the free agent options at first base with Rizzo and Abreu off the board, he's a fine option. I think I'd rather them look at the trade market at first base, but
Is he that much of an upgrade than Naylor?
Well, they need a first baseman DH. Naylor can't hit lefties at all. At all. He cannot play against lefties. Now, Bell is better against righties than he is against lefties, but at least he can play against lefties. Josh Naylor can't. They cannot play him against lefties at all.
Wow.
He cannot hit lefties, period.
So, yes,
he's a platoon player.
Upgrade, is what you're saying.
And Josh Bell is, while he's not a good defensive player, he's better than Naylor is at first base. I mean, not significantly because he's not very good, but at least he's played the position more in his career. And he's just – I don't think you get rid of Naylor. I think you need Naylor and two other players to cover first base and DH. Now, they have some young guys they can use in the mix there, but a lot of those young guys that they have, the other guys, Gabriel Arias is probably going to eventually play shortstop, and these, Will Brennan and Will Benson, they're both left-handed hitters. So you do need at least one right-handed bat in the mix. Josh Bell's a switch hitter. In terms of Sean Murphy, that move I like.
You willing to give up Austin Hedges for Murphy?
Austin Hedges is gone. He's a free agent.
You don't want him back?
He's gone.
Anthony's twin.
Well, I'm sorry. I love Anthony, but Austin Hedges is time to move on. The Guardians do not – both of their catchers from last year are gone. Austin Hedges is a free agent. Luke Mailey just signed with Cincinnati. So they're both gone. They do have Bo Naylor, Josh's brother, who came up at the end of last year, was on the playoff roster. But they've relied on so many young players. I think they do. They do need to have a couple of veterans, and catchers a good spot to have a veteran. Are you guys still seeing me? Because on my screen I look frozen.
We hear you. You're a little chopped. You chopped and screwed.
Okay. So anyway, Sean Murphy is the perfect fit for the Guardians for a variety of reasons. Number one, he's excellent defensively. So there'll be no drop-off from Austin Hedges defensively. In fact, it'll be an improvement once he learns the pitchers because he's actually better at throwing out base runners, which Hedges was not good at. Number two, he is, for a catcher, as for an overall major league player, he's an average hitter. But for a catcher, he's well above average as an offensive player and has good power. He's a guy who hit 15, 20 home runs. For a catcher, not many guys hit 50 home runs. So he's an upgrade defensively and a massive upgrade offensively. He's got 3-year team control. Now, you're going to have to give up a lot to get him. You'll probably have to give up one of your top prospects, maybe Bo Naylor in that trade, and maybe a third. You have to give up a lot of good prospects. But the Guardians are loaded with top bets. They can afford to give them up. I think Murphy would be an excellent addition. I like adding him more than Bell, but I'm okay with Bell as well.
Hey, Murphy, what is he, 28?
Yeah, he's about to be 29.
So he's not old. No, he's 28. He's just about to be 28. You're right.
G. Bush, what do you think about these moves?
They're all right. They're decent. They're all right.
It's something, huh?
Right.
It's something.
I'm expecting. See, for me, I think the Guardians is in a very weird little place, right? They got a bunch of guys that are young, and this is the thing I get frustrated with, because I got guys, like guys I work with, Jonathan Peterlin, Bull, Jay. They'll be sitting here telling you about these prospects till the cows come home. Mm-hmm. They throwing out I remember White and Pomerantz. Oh, those guys, we can't give up those guys. Those guys, I'm like, bro, listen. Y'all been telling me about these dudes forever, and then they either trade them to somebody else, or they get up here and they don't really have a space for them to play every single day.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so my thing is, you got all these young pieces.
Right.
Why are they not playing? Right. I want to see them up here move around, do something, and like Naylor, right? They had Naylor on the roster. They had Naylor on the postseason roster. They brought him up. Obviously, I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. That's one of your top prospects. But casual people like me be confused because now it's the offseason. You feeling like, okay, we're going to invite Naylor to spring training. We're going to give him an opportunity to win that position. He just said both their catchers is out of there. And then they'd be like, well, we're going to get Murphy because he's a veteran. And you'd be like, but I thought you said this dude was your prospect. It's always this fine line between having prospects that you can use to pitch and shift around for some bona fide people, or it's like, okay, I'm going to go get a middle-of-the-line guy. I was expecting him to say, oh, Murphy, he gonna come in and hit you 30 home runs.
That's what I wanted him to say, because that's all he been talking about. We have nobody at the end of the lineup. We need that big bat, and he was trying to trade for what's the catcher? I can't think of his name. Cabrera.
No.
Contreras. Yeah. He was talking like he sold me on that one, but now you get this, and he like.
And these dudes seem like middlings. This ain't. I want to go to the store.
They seem like what?
They're middlings, bro. These is medium sauce. This medium sauce. I at least want mild sauce. Medium.
Adam, real question. You know this stuff. Is this guy? Have we seen enough out of Bo Naylor that you'd be willing to give him up?
We don't have Bull.
Bull's gone.
But I'll tell you.
Tell me.
What was the question? Yeah.
Bo Naylor. We're talking about. I've heard him involved in this trade for this catcher. He is a catcher. We have not seen him play all that much. Do you think that the Guardians have given up on him this quickly?
No, he's just super young. I mean, I think he's still 21 years old.
And they want somebody who's good to go right now.
And the rest of the team is. I mean, you saw them compete in the playoffs this year. I don't think they want to wait 2-3 years for a catcher who's never had any major league experience besides being on a 40-man playoff roster. Step in and fill a position where, frankly, they couldn't be worse last year offensively.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to Anthony and his boy Austin Hedges, but he was the worst offensive player in baseball.
Yeah.
The issue is if you take out Hedges from the equation, Naylor's not the same quality defensive catcher, and you have no idea what you're getting offensively. And that's a position with all the assets they have available is probably that in first base. The two they could package the most together for a major upgrade. So I think that's why Murphy and Contreras and some of these other catchers, Kirk in Toronto, are getting so much attention from Cleveland because they have the pieces to move. And as Jason always says, they have too many pieces to play. They have too many prospects. They can't all play. And you look at, okay, what position do we not have an overload at? It's catcher and first base. Let's package some of these infielders and pitchers together to upgrade those two players.
And the other thing, the Murphy thing makes sense because he's under contract, I saw, for like another 3 years, which means we wouldn't have to pay any money, which is what they really like.
That's it right there. You did it. See, you got all these prospects, right? You got them, but they can't officially jump off the roof and say, all right, well, let's package these prospects and go get us a real legitimate big-time bat. Because a legitimate big-time bat is going to either want an extension one day or he's not going to be under contract tomorrow. Right. So they're looking to get somebody that's good enough, that's serviceable enough, that is under contract, that they can control for 5. The Guardians love control.
It works well for them. They do a lot with no money.
We complain about it, but they still.
They do.
They defeat the odds all the time.
They do, but I don't agree. The reason that I always get into it with Jay about this is he's always saying, I mean, look at their record. Look how well they've done with that for how long, how many years in the playoffs. I'm like, yes, that's all true, but none of that gets worse when you give them more money to work with.
Right.
That's my point. It's just like, it's amazing what they've done with what they have, and they obviously have great talent scouts. But eventually you got to give them some money.
Question is, how do you get to the next level? I mean, you probably have taken this
as high as you can go
in this form.
Yeah. Yes.
So now you got to do some other things. Now the question is, in the offseason, can you feel like you can sustain yourself financially and bring in some? Because you need some.
Well, they get the field. They trying to build a new field or something.
That's getting done.
Am I paying for that as a taxpayer? Am I paying for that as a taxpayer?
I'm about to say, is
I am paying for that as a
taxpayers' dollars, huh?
So
did you know you paid for the airport expansion?
I know. I paid for the airport expansion. I know.
Did you pay for the RTA when you were
I know. I also just funded the whole Metro Parks for the next 10 years. I know.
Did you know you paid for the ship to the Port Authority?
Yes, I'm a homeowner. I know.
So this is the
Did you know you paid for the library too?
Oh, God.
Okay, keep coming.
Don't remind me of educating people. I don't like to know that.
I'm playing.
Somebody needs to educate me about wealthy individuals, right? And I've always had this qualm with wealthy people, right? For me, like, it's only so much money you can spend.
I know.
Like, if you got a team, right? These people are rich beyond belief, right?
Yeah.
Say they ain't billionaires, right? Mm-hmm. The thought process is you got to think about it. They telling you that they can't move on certain moves because they got to save money. These people ain't in the soup kitchen line. Like, you got to think about it. You got every car you could drive. Your kids is paid for college. Their grandchildren got a trust fund. You got a boat. You got multiple houses. At what point in time, your wife got every bag and purse there is known to man. At what point in time there's a statistic that say, like, after you make a certain amount of money, the more money you make after that means nothing to you because you already have a certain level where it's not touching you. You're never going to go broke. You still eat what you want. So my thing is, why the heck would you not spend it?
Let's ask Bull that question. He's back.
Can't take it with you.
Guys, they got to spend money, and it's fair to criticize them for not spending money. I totally get that. Some of the stuff you were talking about before, I know I was breaking up. Maybe I am again, and you got to cut me out. But
you good.
The stuff you were talking about before in terms of the young players, like they did. I understand what you're talking about, those guys they traded years ago. Their prospects have been panning out in more recent years, right? We saw all those rookies last year take off. But you don't want to have a team where you're relying only on rookies, which is mostly what they're doing. They got a little lucky this year. Not all those rookies are going to be as good in their second year. You have to add some veterans. I know you're like, well, we want a 30 home run catcher. Well, no, there's really no catchers outside of Salvador Perez or the Royals that hits 30 home runs. Sean Murphy will hit you 17 to 20. He'll also hit a bunch of doubles. He's a really good player. He's a top, 8 catcher in Major League Baseball, maybe top 5. So it makes a lot of sense, even though he doesn't hit a million home runs.
Is there a first baseman out there that can give me 30?
Great question.
Bell can hit 30. He's hit over 30 a few times. So that's if you sign Josh Bell, it's not a guarantee of 30, but he's done it twice. I think he's hit 27 or more 3 of the last 5 years.
You gotta lead. You gotta lead with your strongest stuff, boo. You should have said, "Hey, this guy hit 30 home runs twice."
So why don't you?
Well, I told you guys he had power. You're obsessed about Bo Naylor.
But you was like, I don't really care for that. I like the Murphy one over this one. I don't know.
While we got Bo real quick,
Tyvis, you can't give me generic dorky white guy voice. I mean, I know there's a lot of generic dorky white guys. I'm not generic dorky white guy.
Yeah,
got a point there.
That's me.
I got to put some respect on you.
I've never been so insulted in all my life. I want to talk to the manager.
hey, while we